everyone, welcome to the Stripped Down to Love podcast video where the essence of love comes from within. I am your host, Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining me here on Stripped Down to Love podcast video and being here with me in this very moment. As always, I appreciate it so very, very much. So today on the Stripped Down to Love podcast video, we will be talking about compassion. In today's episode, we discuss compassion towards others, and compassion towards yourself. As always, to start, let's take a deep breath in and out. Take another deep breath in and out. If you have the crystal citrine, and obviously this is only a recommendation, it would be good to have that crystal close by or connect with the citrine energy for this specific episode, okay? Take another deep breath in and out. Now that you have done this, I want you to say, I am here to just be. I am here to remember. I am safe. And now I am ready to continue. I urge you to remember you are an investment. And you are very, very important. By investing and sharing with you, I invest in myself. And together, we give back to humanity. You deserve to remember and really enjoy life. So, let's strip down to love. Compassion. Seeing a problem through a lens of genuine understanding. Seeing someone or a situation that is not at its best, and you believe it can be better. And allow the person or the situation to feel comfortable or create comfortability. Is that even a word? In that situation. And having the desire to fix it, having the utmost desire to fix it, that you extend an olive branch or provide a road to a better situation, or a pathway or a means to heal that person or situation. Okay? So I'm going to share a little information prior to getting into compassion so that it will make it a little bit easier to digest, or the information a little bit easier to digest. So I became a nurse practitioner, because I love science, and because I always wanted to take the information, technology, and apply it to humans, in the sense that they will be able to live a better and happier life, and with less humps and bumps. And all the while explain that information to people, because knowledge is power, right? When you have knowledge, you have power, and you are able to interpret ideas and information, right? All at the same time, with incorporating science. So yes, that definitely sounded like the start of a college essay, but this is my reasoning. So just like with this podcast, I wanted to share information with people, but through a lens of inner connection, going inward. I wanted to share information with people because, again, I keep going back to the first episode, but if you ever watch the first episode, you understand that I suffered. I say suffering because that's how I feel. I suffered for a good amount of time in my life. And, I really don't want people to... Some lessons you cannot avoid, because sometimes they're karmic, sometimes they're just unavoidable. they need to occur in order for people to grow and to live and to awaken and to walk into their power. But some things can be looked at from a different angle. And that's the whole reason for this podcast too, is to share information through a lens of compassion in order for people to have less humps and bumps during their life and be able to interpret information and situations and savor it instead of running away from it. Okay? So, provide information for people who desire to go further inward, healing or desire to heal. Daily situations that are leading up to goals, dreaming up goals. So rather than people, this is why the information is here. So rather than people going into shock during the spiritual awakening process, and oh, by the way, we don't only wake up once. We don't oh, okay, thank goodness I went through this spiritual awakening. No, there's many layers to awakenings, because you can awake to different levels of spirituality or pathwayality. I don't know how that word came up, but because your pathway and your reality. So you're on your pathway in your reality, creating your reality through specific vibrations because of information. And it's like, just go with this. It's like, what comes first? The chicken or the egg situation. Like, what comes first? Information, changing my vibration, or changing my vibration so that I can have more information to change my vibration. It's a whole, I think it encompasses everything, and it's everything. So it just goes in a circle like this. And as many times as you wake up on earth, or how many days there are in a year, you can continually go through awakenings. And some of them are not as fun as you may think. Because you're rearranging your whole entire, reality, and your energy bodies, your emotional bodies. And so at that time, this is a good segue into compassion towards yourself. So, and at that time, I would urge you to have the utmost compassion for yourself, to literally put pause on your life, even if it is for 3 to 4 hours, because at that point, your human side is going through changes due to the fact that you did a lot of energy work and a lot of emotional body work, and this human meat suit that we have needs to adjust to this new vibration. Therefore, at this point, we are a little vulnerable, and we need to nurture that vulnerability because it's very soft and pliable and very porous at that time. So putting good energy into that time of spiritual awakening and human vulnerability, or being vulnerable, is highly recommended. Okay, so I'm just trying to find my place because I kind of went off on a tangent here. So I talked about that. And so I'm just sharing information from my experiences, and as we all know, everyone's journey and experiences are different. I only know my own experiences and discipline. So what I'm trying to say is that what you need to leave, then leave. And the rest that you need, then take it with you, and you're always welcome to come back to pick up new bits of information or to exchange information. You are always welcome here on the Strip Down to Love podcast video, because this episode especially was created with the idea of providing you that compassionate energy. Even if you're not really listening to the words and feel this energy and just need someone to sit with you during your moments and your time of listening to this video, that's totally fine too. We can do that. And I don't know why I'm saying this, but I also think that a lot of the times, if we were more connected with our energy, then we wouldn't have to be using our vocal cords. We wouldn't have to be using voice and just using our throat and esophagus or pharynx to allow air and breath to enter our body and to speak through intuition. So I'm recording this on my day off, and I forgot that on my day off the landscapers would be here. So I am highly apologizing for the mower that you hear in the background. I wanted to start an hour earlier, but G-Money wanted to go for a walk, and this is his world. I just live in it, and it would just be with him, I'm not selfish. I give him everything. So at 7 o'clock in the morning, we went for a walk, and then I was an hour late getting ready to do my podcast this morning. So the landscapers are here. Anyway, I'm always sending everyone love. Let's get into it, and let's talk about compassion. So I am overly compassionate. I want to help everyone and everything. You can only do so much. So I cannot stress this enough. You can only do so much. So, and then you can always refer to the limitations episode for more information on that. So my point to this whole entire paragraph, right, is that a lot of the times I find myself pouring my energy into things that don't necessarily need it. The first thing that popped into my head is control. So I'm using, like compassion as a cover up for control, right? There is a fine line. I mean, I'm pretty sure that other people would agree with me too. So I guess I like to be in control. Well, I also like to fix things and help people, and I guess that is one of my flaws, being overly compassionate to the point that it becomes not healthy for me or the other person or the whole entire party involved. So in this case, I don't believe anyone wins, because the person that the lesson was meant for, they don't learn the lesson. You take on more added energy, take on more responsibility, and then when you're not there and this type of situation presents itself again to that specific person, they don't know what to do because they didn't learn a lesson, because you were overly compassionate and took control of that situation, which is nice. I mean, it's wonderful. Thank you. I wish I was able to ask more people for help or allow people to help me more, but I'm not. I don't do that. I don't operate that way. But what is meant for a person, you have to allow them to go through the motions, okay? Again, no one in this situation wins. So why, you may ask? So let's get into the next section. So like I started to talk about, I like to fix things so that we can all live happily, but sometimes, like I said, it is the other person's lesson to learn, live, and then in that specific situation, they will gain their well-earned spiritual upgrade. So if, like we're always like, okay, let's elevate each other. This is one way you can elevate each other. I'm sorry, I'm fixing my clothes here. Is being an observer, providing compassionate energy, making the situation more comfortable for that person, but not steering them away from the lesson. So that's how, we can all live a happy life. Sometimes the situations may look really ugly, but it may not have presented itself to that person if they could not handle it or if they were not ready for it. Let me back up and say that. Others can't upgrade, learn, evolve if you keep doing things for them. If you continue to do things for them in that way that you do, people will be unable to learn. Just think about it. If one day you leave, like I said previous to this, then they would be in more of a deficit without you there because they don't know how to operate on their own. A healthier form of compassion, minus the control, and constantly, I have to fix it. But not only form of compassion is also about seeing what people need. This is about seeing what people need and guiding them to the answer. Allowing them to do the work so they can learn. So they fix it themselves and feel powerful in their own right. In that moment, they are proving to themselves that they can do their own self-care and self-fix. We are all projects, and we are all capable of making ourselves beautiful, strong, handsome, amazing. We aren't a piece of wood. That needs to be carried to stand upright and nailed to the wall. We are the wood, the energy it needs to stand upright and and the nail, like a shelf. We're setting ourselves up as a shelf. Well, I don't know. I guess I could have came better with a better description, but I guess I was imagining this piece of wood is just very, very beautiful, ancient, and very organic, earthly energy. And we are everything. We just need to be open to guidance and towards the answer. So guiding someone to the answer is still a form of compassion without the control. Okay? Like I said. Or without looking like you are smarter than them. Or you know more than them. Imagine it as if you are picking the crumbs up to the answer. So what I'm trying to say is imagine as if they are picking up the crumbs to the answer and not you. Because if you overly try to fix it situation, you're the one okay, let's clean this up. You're the one picking up the crumbs. But if you become an observer and say oh, hey, what's that over there? Maybe they can follow that pathway, and throughout that time, they can pick up information and learn the lesson themselves, okay? So that they can file that information. You're doing it for them because you've done it already. You've went on this pathway, and you know how to navigate it. So if you know how to navigate it, then shine light on the crumbs of information for that person. Okay? So I started talking about guiding someone to the answer. Okay, so let's create a scenario because I like scenarios. So imagine you are doing things for people and then one day you leave, move, find a new job. Your life changes, and so who's doing the work for them? No one, right? It's just piling up in their backyard. For the other person that you were doing the work for, they may start to resent you because you are quote unquote off doing what you are doing, and no one is cleaning up their mess, and they don't know how to do it. This person may have only liked you because of what you do for them, not for what you are. So we have to really walk lightly through these different situations, okay? We want supporters that like us for who we are, not what we can do for them, or appreciate us for who we are. Not necessarily, I mean, we can use like and interchange and appreciate interchangeably, I guess. So then imagine you see them again, and they don't necessarily give you a nice welcome because why? You didn't do anything for them in a while. Remember that. You expect a warm greeting, you don't get it. Resentment, hurt, pain starts to set in on your end. Does this sound familiar to anybody? Let me know. In this very situation, you may want to be careful because they may manipulate you into doing something else for them by making you feel guilty about leaving. So, can you see how there is a difference between compassion - doing things for people rather than looking at them with compassion and then allowing them to pick up the crumbs themselves? It's about empowering people through compassion and elevating people through compassion, not debilitating people through compassion. How can you show yourself compassion? So let's talk about it. Looking at yourself through a lens of admiration and love with parental energy, through a lens of perfection. That's how you can show yourself compassion. Acceptance will lend you the assistance you need to look at yourself through a lens of compassion, admiration, and love. So this whole month of May is filled with episodes like this, being able to show yourself compassion, living in the moment so that you can get through your material goals, as well as more transitional and shifting type of episodes. But we're applying a light of fun or energy of fun to it. Because, life is serious enough. So we want to have fun doing this, and we want to have fun and show ourselves compassion and love and look at ourselves with the utmost admiration. So let's talk about healthy compassion versus drama. So we kind of got into it previous to this about allowing people to find and pick up crumbs on their own, okay? So, compassion can also be shown by helping one physically. Yes, but you can make sure you aren't doing too much by getting caught up daily in the same dramatic tornado or their tornado, because you have your own to fix, right? Or you have your own to monitor and keep an eye on. Is that how you would want to spend your time, is being in a whirlwind in a tornado that belongs to someone else? Me, not so much. So detaching from the situation versus getting caught up, that's the difference between empowering people through compassion versus debilitating people through compassion. Would you rather spend your time healing yourself so that you can and will have the love to assist more people in the end? I know I would. The more you champion at healing yourself, the more you heal others around you. I personally like the option of healing myself in order to help more people. Some people would say, well, why would I heal others? Their healing is not my concern, and really it isn't my thing, okay? It isn't, but by healing yourself will inadvertently, like I keep saying throughout all of my episodes, and even from last year, inadvertently help others with your energy and allow information to flow into their hearts, into their heart space and their mind. It's healed, compassionate, loving energy that has the ability to elevate, awaken new information within you and others. So, like it or not, you are helping people and you are helping others. Compassion. Healthy compassion allows you to stay in your lane, heal yourself while being of service. All right, remember that, right? Healthy compassion allows you to stay in your lane, heal yourself while still being of service. All right, so now that the Strip Down to Love podcast video has come to an end, I want to thank you for being here with me and listening to me, as always. So let's take a deep breath. I know I needed that, because that was a lot of information. Take another deep breath. And now let's thank the citrine energy for being around us and filling up our bodies with that energy. We thank you. I am sending everyone here listening to me hugs. Take another deep breath. And hug yourself and pat yourself on your back, because you are doing such a good job. As always, walk with love, and I will see you